What's good, YouTube? Welcome to my first ever trading recap. Currently up $213 on the day. Just want to walk you guys through on my bias today, what I seen, why I took entry, why I exited my trade, and just my mental state throughout the day. I want to use the channel to be vulnerable, show you guys, things I did right, but also the things that I did wrong and what I can improve on. So let's go. Cool. So coming into the market today, when I do come into the market, I do come on around 9 o'clock today. I did wake up around 7. I made sure I followed my routine with reading and praying. I made it a rule that I'm not allowed to hop on the charts if I haven't spent time with the Lord. I always have to read first or pray first. If I haven't done those two things, I'm not allowed to trade. So yeah, I woke up at 7. I read my Bible. I prayed. Came to the market around 9 o'clock. I do something called a top-down analysis, a reverse top-down analysis, actually. Usually traders do something called a top-down analysis, but they'll start off with the higher time frames, and then they would start to mark up off of the higher time frames, and then just go down to the lower time frames. I do something that's untraditional. It's called a reverse top-down analysis. So my entry time frame is the 1 minute time frame, so I don't be marking up on there, but I start off with the 2 minute time frame. So with my strategy, I am just playing off of support and resistance levels. I love the ranging markets. That's where I make the most money in. Um, the market just likes to play ping pong in ranging markets, right? Buy low, sell high, easy, easy. It's just easy money. So coming to the markets, I want to look for my support level, and my resistance level. So just coming here, I like this area right here because when I'm marking out support and resistance levels, I like to mark up on double tops or double bottoms. So we see double tops here, sorry, double bottoms here, and we got multiple touches as well. So I want to make sure I have at least 2 or more touches at a level. So we got 1 touch over here, 2 touch over here, and 3 touches over here. This is a good level. And then I would even mark up this as well right here. So we got 1 touch, 2 touch, 3 touch. So this is my resistance level. But then I also like this right here for my support level because we got 1 touch, 2 touch, 3 touch. So I got my resistance level over here, my support level over here on the bottom. We're in a ranging market. Overall, I can see if I just scroll out like on a daily view, I can see we are in an overall bearish trend. And then we started going out into a ranging market. Just looking at this, my overall bias so far, and it's not confirmed, is bearish. But at this point right now, I have my support level, resistance level, but then I also got this middle level here. This middle level here is what I like to call my shift in the trend level slash momentum level. So I know that in this ranging market, we're going to see multiple trends. You're going to see bullish trends. We're going to see bearish trends. Bullish trends, bearish trends. So I know that this is the middle of my trend. So if price is able to break and close past this area right here, this shift in the trend level, momentum level, I know that in this ranging market, we are in a bullish trend, just in this overall ranging market. But if we stay below the shifting trend momentum level, we're going to continue bearish. So just staying on the 2 minute here, overall, I can see that even a slight little trend line I could draw from here, we can see that we are bearish. Let's mark this up properly. Boom. Cool. We are bearish. It's just moving up to the higher time frames now. We go to the 5 minute. See, we are respecting that trend line. Overall, still bearish. We go to 8 minute time frame. I like this. We are still bearish. You see, we ranged out here, and we got a sell down. And we're retracing. We got a sell down. And I believe here at this point, this is where I'm looking at, okay, I believe we're just going to get another retracement move before we actually get a big push down. So the 15 minute, I love this 15-minute time frame now. From here on, we got 2 candles, 2 candles, 2 candles, 1 candle, 2 candles. We haven't got more than 3 or 4 candles at this point. So I'm believing, okay, for bullish candles I'm talking about, but at this point, I believe that we are going to continue sell down. If you go to the 30-minute time frame, what confirmed it over here for me with my bearish trend is that we got a bearish pin bar over here. Our previous candle was a bearish pin bar. which a bearish pin bar and a bearish trend just signifies continuation of this overall trend. I also see here that even though this candle did go up bullish, a lot of times the market makers, when they do print this bearish candle, the next candle will open up bearish, open up bullish, but then start to wick out and then go bearish. At that point, that's where my thought process is. And then just going to the 45-minute, we see here overall trend bearish still, and we are respecting this trend line. So I'm just looking at this overall right now, even go to the 1 hour time frame, just respecting it. We are respecting it. We are in a bearish trend. Another thing that did confirm it for me is that this gap over here. We see that on the 9th, when the market opened, we opened up with a gap and we just went bullish. Yeah, we just went bullish overall since Sunday on the 9th. Where's a Sunday? Yeah, going into Sunday. Sunday open, we opened up with a gap. So just looking at all this, and we are starting to sell back down. Just my overall thought process for the week itself, since it is only Tuesday, I believe that maybe not today. We probably won't come back and fill this gap today, but overall in this week, I believe that this gap has to be filled. So I'm just looking at it for this day specifically. We are bearish. We go to the 4 hour time frame too. You can see we are bearish. And would you look at that also? On the 4 hour time frame, we had a resistance level. That's why we're rejecting off of it right now. We have a resistance level. So I just marked that off as like a black, matter of fact, because that's like my higher time frame resistance. Came here rejected, and I believe overall we're gonna go down and fill that gap. Let's just look at the daily time frame. We couldn't break that. Couldn't break that at all. So yeah. Overall, I'm looking. We are bearish. We are very, very, very bearish. Why did it do that? Let me go back here. Matter of fact, 2 minute time frame. If we just go back to select bar. Let's go to 9 o'clock. Cool. Let's make this easy for you guys. Cool. So overall, I got my overall bias for today is bearish. I got my momentum level set, my resistance level, my support level. From 9 o'clock, so let's mark this up here, a horizontal line, to 9:30. If I put this horizontal right here. From in between this area, I'm not taking entry at all. This space right here, this time slot right here is just me just observing the market, seeing what the market is going to do, what the market is going to set up for. If we're going to open up bullish or we're going to open up bearish at 9:30, because as you know, 9:30, the U.S. stock exchange does open up at that time. So I'm just waiting until 9:30 to see, okay, where is price at the moment? Where are we rejecting off, and where can I get the best entry at? Also for the day, it was a very calm day. I only took one entry for the day and made $213. But I did see that we did have a bank holiday. And a U.S. bank holiday. It was Veterans Day today. So the effect on the market's very low liquidity and irregular volatility. So there's not going to be a lot of volatility in the market like any other day. So I just kept that in mind as well. So I'll just play this out. I'm going down to the 1 minute time frame because this is a time frame where I usually like to take entry at. So from 9 o'clock to 9:30. Boom. At this point right here, what I say, this is my shift in this trend momentum level. I seen that we broke past this momentum level over here. And we broke and closed past it. And we haven't reached 9:30 yet. So my thought process at this point is, okay, from 9 o'clock, usually 9:15 actually. From 9:15, as you can see, this is the beginning of like the volatility. The volatility actually started to pick up. Our price started pushing up. From 9:15 to 9:30, whatever happens then is going to set up for the move at 9:30. So if we got this bullish push from 9:15, usually from 9:30 and after, we're going to see a bearish effect. is what I've seen most of the time. So 9:15, we got a bullish push. We broke out of this shift in the trend momentum level, and we also broke out of our overall trend line, which was bearish. So my thought process, okay, market makers are trying to set up for the sell-off at 9:30. So just keep playing. Boom, we got a push. 9:30 comes. What happens? Let's just go back a little bit. 9:30 comes. We can take this off just so it's easy for you guys to see. We got a bullish candle, a bullish open. So we got a bearish push down. We got a bullish open. 9:30. I still believe that we are going to sell off eventually. But this wasn't the area in which we got to sell off. I believe this was the area in which once we come here, price is gonna reject and we're gonna sell off. Also, I forgot to mention, if you just go up to my 45-minute time frame, I also seen that this level over here is where we rejected and we got that big bullish push. So I'm setting this as my target. I can set targets to where this gap needs to be filled, but I found I just didn't want to be greedy. I wanted to practice good habits. I just don't like holding trades for long. Today, my trade today was only like 2 minutes, like a minute or two. Matter of fact, I only stayed in the trade for like 2 minutes. But yeah, overall, I knew that once we got to here, I would just get off the charts. To be honest, just going back to the 1 minute time frame. Boom, we got this bullish push. 9:30 open. And let's just see what happens next. I'm going to put on one speed so it's easier for you guys to see. Boom. Boom. At this point here, 9:30 we got a bullish push. But I said overall I want to sell. And personally I wanted to sell over here. But I took entry over here. And the reason being, I could have waited. I probably should have waited. That's probably one of the mistakes I did make. Even though I didn't make money off of this. And the reason why I did take this entry pretty early is because I seen a resistance area right here. This is an area where we rejected off of and we got a big sell down off of as well. So I said, okay. And we were forming a doji almost at this point. So I said, this definitely is an area and where I would like to take entry. So I did take the sell over here. I took it like right here, actually. Matter of fact, it wasn't below this candle, but it was right here. And I just set my take profit to about here. About there. And I put my SL, my stop loss right above this wick. I was okay. No, I think it was a little bit above. No, it was around there, actually. Matter of fact, yeah. I was okay with losing 8 to 9 points for the day, losing $80. But to make about $213. It wasn't 232 because like fees and stuff like that, commissions. But I took entry and we'll see what happens next. Boom, boom. Push. We got a big push, a big sell down over here. But what happened though? Even though we sold down and we touched my TP, we couldn't get a body close past this shift in the trend momentum level. That's why I closed out. So I closed out around here, $213 for the day. But since we got this big push and we couldn't break past this shift in the trend momentum level, in my mind I thought, okay, the market makers are just rejecting at this moment. They don't want to sell down at this very moment. Let me just take my profits. Let me not break my head or have a headache. I didn't want to be greedy. I didn't want to hold. It was not worth it. Imagine if I did hold it though. Mind you, this would have been my original entry. Why? Because we had a previous resistance over here. There's a double top. What happens? Boom, boom, boom. Good thing I closed out here because I would have hit my stop loss and that would have not looked good. But originally I wanted this entry. If I had gotten this entry right here, we would have got that sell down. I would have put my SL at the top of this wick over here. So if I just move my entry, matter of fact, like right here, and then my stop loss, I'll make it red, just so it's easy for you guys. And then boom. I probably actually would have just took it to here, matter of fact. Boom. What happens next? We got a sell off. And then I'm gonna place this right. Actually, yeah. And then boom. What happens? I got a good sell off. We come back. Boom. Take profit hit. Probably would have made another like 300 off of that if I had taken this entry also. But then overall, you can see what happened. Let me delete this, matter of fact. Sorry. You can see this is my overall target though. Let's see what happened overall for the day. I want to pause this right here. This is where I took my entry originally to, and look what happened. We made that a purple, and we rejected off of that once again, and this is where we got to sell off. Boom. Boom. Checkmate. Checkmate, checkmate, checkmate. Let's see what happens. Boom. Yep. Get a good push. Let's just put 3x speed, to be honest. Let's make it faster. Boom, boom, boom. Got a little retracement. Did we go touch it? I'm pretty sure we did go touch it. Let's see. No, we probably didn't actually. Or I think we got close to it though. We got pretty close to it, but overall though, we got the sell-off. We got the sell-off that we wanted. And we'll just see where we're at now, matter of fact. Yeah. We got the sell-off that we wanted. We didn't go and touch it fully. But at this point, if I did hold it, I wouldn't have been greedy if I got it here. Knowing that we also had a previous support over here and we rejected. Would have just probably took profit. But overall for the day, for the trading session, was a good bias. Came to the market, calm, cool, collected. I made sure that you know, I prayed in the morning and I read my Bible in the morning. I think I said that earlier in the video that I always have to read and pray in the morning. I made it a rule that I'm not allowed to trade if I haven't read in the morning or if I haven't prayed in the morning. I always have to spend time with the Lord in the morning. Overall, my emotions for the day, like I said, came calm, cool, and collected. Wasn't worried. Didn't have any FOMO. I was actually very patient today. That's one thing I've been working on is my patience on the charts. And then another thing too is I didn't force any setups, nor did I, you know, I also didn't care to even take a setup. You know, I was content with not even taking a trade today, to be honest. And I think that's the biggest thing with trading is that it's so different from every other job, where in every job, you're going to make the most amount of money by doing the most amount of work. But trading, you're going to make the most amount of money by doing the least amount of work. And I think I practiced that today with the patience. You know, I was very patient with my setup. And I just waited. I didn't force anything. I could have said, you know, I still believe this was a good entry, but this was probably the best entry. But this was still a good entry, you know. I could have been even more patient probably, but it was still a good trade setup overall. I didn't have any FOMO. I didn't have any greed as well. I just took my profits, $213 for the day. I easily could have came back and said, let me just take another trade over here. Even though it went in my direction, up $213 just off of one trade, that's already a blessing. You know, I'm already grateful for that. It takes people a couple days, sometimes hours, to make $213. So the fact that I was able to even make that in 2 minutes just by pressing one button, a sell button, and just marking up a chart, I'm grateful for it. I didn't want to enter into this and have my mind all clogged up thinking about, okay, is this gonna sell them? Is it not? You know what I mean? It's not worth the mental headache at the end of the day. You know, my mentor told me one thing one time. He said, if you always have to think about an entry, don't take it at all. Because that's when you'll close out too early, or you'll close out, you know, when you're not in profit and then it goes your way. Um, if you just have to think about it, don't enter at all. You know what I mean? It should be able to enter with confidence. And that's one thing I am trying to work on is my confidence. Being confident in my ability to execute a trade, knowing that, you know, even if I lose, it doesn't determine who I am as a trader. My losses don't determine who I am as a trader, nor does my wins determine how I am as a trader. You know what I mean? It's the habits I practice every single day, and if I'm consistently practicing good habits each and every day, that's where I'm gonna see success at all times. So yeah, that's day one of the journey. $213 for the day. Caught a good sell, good emotions. I'm gonna continue to do my trading recaps every time I trade, show you guys the transparency. Even if I lose, even if I mess up bad, like, I'm gonna show the transparency behind, how my journey is going, and I'm trusting God throughout this whole entire journey. Trusting God throughout this whole entire journey that He's gonna lead me, He's gonna mold me. Yeah. So trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding, and He'll make way your paths. So thank you guys once again for watching this video. And I'm out. I'm gonna take that right there, and I'm just gonna put SL right here. 8 points. If I take a loss on that, I take a loss on that. But let's get a good push. If I could get a good push, I'll be blessed. Let's just get a good push. I like how this is lining up right now. I'll put it exactly at the top of the wick. I'll take 9 points loss. It's fine. If you get that good sell-off, that'll be blessed. That'll be good. Let's get a good push. Boom. Break even. I'm taking it. I'll take 213 for the day.